From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening and welcome to OpenLine. I'm Carrie Sharp. We have such an important topic today. I want to encourage you to go ahead and get a pen and paper ready. We have a lot of information to give to you tonight, and I think it is really going to be helpful, especially if you are signing up, need to sign up for the Affordable Care Act. I have two wonderful experts here with me tonight. I want to introduce them to you. We have Mary Moore, the Get Covered Tennessee Program Coordinator, and Sharon Barker, the Get Covered Tennessee Lead Navigator. Thank you both for being here.
You're welcome.
You know, anytime you mention healthcare, whether it's within your company or the Affordable Care Act, it seems like everybody's blood pressure just goes up and you instantly get a headache because it's confusing and it is such a big decision with big implications for everybody, especially the way it hits you in your pocketbook. You guys know that better than anybody because you're dealing with people on a day-to-day basis. I want you all at home to know you're welcome to call in tonight. The number's at the bottom of the screen. 615-737-PLUS is the number to call. I hope to be taking a ton of calls tonight, and no question is silly or stupid. Healthcare is confusing. We all know that. So go ahead and give us a call. These are the ladies to answer your questions tonight, and it is free. You're not going to find that everywhere. So Mary and Sharon, thank you for being with us. Let's just get started with the basics.
Okay.
Who qualifies for the Affordable Care Act? And when we say that, some people say Obamacare. It is called the Affordable Care Act. So who qualifies?
So when you think about the Affordable Care Act and who's eligible to sign up, there's kind of two main categories. There's a lot of folks who are eligible to sign up on the Affordable Care Act. Pretty much anyone who's legally present in the U.S. Can sign up on the Affordable Care Act marketplace and buy a plan. But a lot of times what we're really speaking to when we say who's eligible for it is who's qualifying for the financial assistance piece, which really makes the insurance on the marketplace affordable for so many people. And when you're looking at that group of people, it's mostly folks who are not offered employer coverage. So they're either self-employed, some small business owners who you know, aren't obligated to carry insurance for their employees. They're on the marketplace, college students.
Let me also ask you this, who does not qualify for this?
Folks who don't qualify in Tennessee are folks who their income is too low to qualify for the financial assistance. So in order to qualify for the financial assistance, your income has to be between 100% and 400% of the federal poverty level. And when we say that, we basically mean it has to be at the poverty line or up to 4 times the poverty line.
What real numbers are we talking about here?
So for a single person, it's about $12,000 a year up to about $45,000 a year. That's for a single person.
Okay, and that's who qualifies?
That's who qualifies for the financial assistance, as long as they're not offered affordable coverage elsewhere, like through an employer or through a spouse. So the folks who don't qualify are folks who maybe their income is below that 12,000 number. Some of those people can qualify for Medicaid and get coverage through that avenue, but there's still a large group of people who don't qualify for Medicaid or the ACA.
Gotcha. See, it's already getting a little confusing. We're going to walk you through it step by step. So where do you start? Whether you go, well, I'm not sure if I qualify or not, where is the best place to start?
Well, I'd like to say get in-person assistance through a navigator such as myself, or you can call healthcare.gov and say, hey, I'd like to enroll, or can you help me to start the process? And healthcare.gov. And either you can call us or they'll help you over the phone.
In the metro area here in Nashville, where are those places? Because a lot of people find great comfort in being able to sit down with someone one-on-one and say, this is what I need and here's how I'm living.
So we're Get Covered Tennessee, and so they can find us at 1-844-644-5443. They can call that number and get an appointment. Also, we're set up at libraries around the city. We're at Bordeaux Library on Thursdays. We're at Meharry Financial Aid Office on Mondays and Thursdays. We're at the Madison Library, Hermitage Library, Downtown Library, Bellevue Library, Green Hills Library. We're all over. And not just Get Covered Tennessee, but you can, Matthew Walker can help. They have certified application counselors. I think there's somebody at Lance. There is in-person assistance readily available, very easy to find. I would say to start with the 844-644-5443 number, which is Get Covered Tennessee, and they can get that zip code
Sure.
and really plug you into what's closest to you.
Perfect. And we are going to be giving you those numbers throughout the show. That's why I say get a pen and paper ready, because we'll put them on the screen so you can write them down as we head to commercial breaks and come back out. So don't worry, we're going to give you plenty of numbers. Okay, we've talked about who qualifies and who does not. Why should somebody sign up for this? It's been around 4 years, so it's still relatively new. Why should you sign up?
Well, if you haven't signed up before and you haven't even looked into it, the biggest thing I can say is, like Sharon said, please get help looking into it, because you really don't know what your options are. There's still the presumption from a lot of folks that it's not going to be affordable, and they're pleasantly surprised all the time. So I would say definitely explore your options, number one. And if you haven't signed up in the past, you know, the tax penalty is going up every year.
Let's talk about that penalty. What is it?
So if you fail to sign up in 2017 and you're one of those folks that we talked about who are eligible for the financial assistance but choose not to enroll and they aren't covered by any other type of coverage, they're uninsured, it's going to be $695 per person as a minimum. And it's either $695 as a flat fee or it's 2.5% of their gross income.
Whichever is higher.
Yes, that's the key word. So the absolute minimum tax penalty would be $695.
And the idea is to offer insurance to everyone so that you don't get hit with one of those crazy bills because you don't have insurance or you can't get care that you need. That was the reason behind this. We're going to jump to a call. I promised we would take as many as we can tonight. We have Mike on the line. Mike, what's your question?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I would like to ask the ladies that you have there tonight, do they have an open enrollment for the homeless in Nashville? I noticed she said that they come down to the library, and I work with the homeless through my church on Sundays and Saturdays, and in time I'm wanting to come to Nashville and get a building started before we can house them and help them get jobs and education. And I just want to know if maybe I could down the road contact these ladies and see if we could sit down and work together to change people's lives in Nashville. And I'll hang up. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you, Mike. It's a good question. You know, folks who are dealing with homelessness, it's a wide range of people and a wide set of circumstances. What do you do? What happens?
Well, we deal with that quite a bit when I'm at Meharry. The homeless come in, but they may have an address through the rescue mission or a room in the inn. But it's still based on, you know, your income, whether or not you're going to be able to afford the subsidy. So many of the homeless may not have the income that would afford them the financial assistance to pay for the insurance. But what I like to also say with the homeless is that if there's some young ones that may be aged out of foster care when they were 18 years old and they didn't choose extension of foster care benefits, those are homeless young people that are leaving insurance on the table because they're eligible to keep that 10 care if they had 10 care when they aged out of foster care till they're 26 years old. So there could be some homeless youth that decided, I'm done with DCS and I just want to be on, you know, I'm on my own. But if they were in foster care at 18 and they had 10 care in Tennessee, they can come back to one of us and we can enroll them in their 10 care benefits and they'll keep them to their 26.
That's fantastic information. Thank you for sharing that. Let's, as we wait for more phone calls to come in, let's go back to this website, healthcare.gov, and where people just start with signing up. Can you give me the basics of what this big affordable health care looks like? Are we talking different categories, different plans, different providers? Is there a way to lay it out simply that I can understand it better?
I would say if you're going to healthcare.gov on your own, I would start with the calculator, which helps you preview the plans that are available to you based on your area and your income. So when you get to healthcare.gov, the home page, you click on preview plans. If you don't see it readily, there's a search bar right in the top and you can just type in preview plans in the search bar. And it's going to bring you to the what we call the calculator. And the first thing you do is put in your zip code, and then it asks you a series of questions. It's really short. It asks you how old you are, if you have any tax dependents, if you're married, whether or not you smoke, and if you're offered coverage through your employer, or if you're currently on Medicaid, if you have another type of coverage. And then it gives you a projection of what plans you're eligible for, how much they cost, what the benefits are like, and then you can take some time really looking at the plans, maybe calling your doctor to see if they accept the plans, if they're in network or not. And then once you've decided on a plan, you can go ahead and do the application process, which has been more streamlined over the years.
That's good news.
And you know, it's really it's quite straightforward.
Yeah, it's easy to navigate, I think.
Okay, we're going to talk more about that and the changes that have happened this year, because a lot of people are frankly just freaked out about that. So when we come back from commercial break, we're going to get to that and more of your phone calls. Go ahead and give us a call. Remember, no question is silly. We are here to help you tonight. Stay with us.